What's up, guys? My name is Austin Wayne, aka the Parlay Prince, and you are now tuned into my highly anticipated video channel, The Answer Key, where you guys got the questions and I got the answers. I'm gonna give you my weekly spread, money line, and total picks, along with my locks of the week, and maybe even a parlay I think you guys could win some money on. I'm also gonna give you my record for all the picks so we can see how on point I really am, okay? If that sounds good to you guys, let's go ahead and get this channel started off on the right note. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications. I want to see some comments from you. I want to see how crazy you think I am, and maybe even any questions you guys might have for me as well. Okay? Without any further ado, this is not financial advice. Let's jump right into it. Alright, first game of the 2022 NFL season. We got a Thursday night showdown of the Seans. Sean McVay versus Sean McDermott. What more could a person ask for? I think this is going to be an absolutely amazing game. I think the ratings are going to fly. I think everyone in the world is going to be watching this like it's a Super Bowl, including myself. Let me start by saying I am a huge Josh Allen fanboy. I think he is an exceptional athlete, amazing quarterback, getting better each and every year he's been in the league. I am looking at the Bills' offensive depth chart right now. Straight ballers. They got Josh Allen, Devin Singletary, James Cook, Zach Moss, Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis, Isaiah McKenzie, Dawson Knox, and O.J. Howard. Don't forget about this signing. I think they're going to put up points against any defense they play. I do think, though, that this is a trap game. I think everyone in the world last year wanted the Bills to go to the Super Bowl. And I think that people are under the impression that they're going to beat the Rams in their house this game. I think that people think it's going to be a Super Bowl hangover and things of that nature. I'm looking at the Rams' defensive depth chart, though. I mean, they got Bobby Wagner. They still got the best nose tackle the world has ever seen in Aaron Donald. And Jalen Ramsey is going to play in this game, unlike Tre'Davious White of the Bills. So I'm just not sure if the Bills can handle the Rams wide receivers. Don't forget about Allen Robinson they just signed. Gonna have a breakout year. Cooper Kupp, Allen Robinson, Van Jefferson. I wouldn't say Matt Stafford is as good as Josh Allen right now, but he's good enough to make plays. And plus, I think the coach that he has in Sean McVay is an absolute stud. I think it's a genius behind the playbook. This is a tough one, guys, honestly. This is a toss-up in any way you look at it. I'm looking at the numbers for this game. They got the total at 52 total points, so the bookies think this is going to be a scoring affair, which I agree. I agree. With Tre'Davious White out, like I said, I don't think that the Bills' cornerbacks, even though Khair Alam is an absolute stud, I don't think they can handle the Rams' wide receivers. I could almost say the same thing about the Rams' secondary, though. Jalen Ramsey's great. He's good. He's really good, actually. I just think that Stephon Diggs is going to give him all that he can handle week one. Other than that, Troy Hill, I don't think that he's going to be able to take on Isaiah McKenzie or Gabriel Davis. Gabriel Davis probably going to have a breakout year. This is hard, guys. I'm looking at the total. We got 52 total points. I like to buy points, 1.5 usually. So I would buy this down. So I'm taking the over, honestly, in this game. I'm looking at the spread. It's 2.5 points, so basically 3. I'm going to buy this total down to 50.5 points. And I'm taking the over on this. This seems like a 27-24 matchup to me, a 30-26 type game. A lot of scoring. I do think that, like I said, it's a tricky matchup. It's a toss-up in my eyes. Either way. I think it's going to get down to the fourth quarter where the Rams start to shut them down and Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey start talking smack, getting in the Bills' heads. I do think this is going to be over 50 points, like I said. I'm moving along to the spread. I'm looking at the spread at -2.5, a.k.a. 3. Like I said, I like to buy 1.5. So I mentioned 27-24. I mentioned 30-26. I'm buying the Rams on this spread, actually. I'm buying it up to 4 points, and I'm taking the Rams on this spread. That's my final decision on the spread. A very, very close game. No blowout here whatsoever. I think both sides are going to score touchdowns. Like I said, the ratings are going to fly. And then bringing me to the final money line. Very, very close. I'm going to talk myself out of it. I don't know. Like I said, this is a toss-up, guys. I'm just going to go with the underdog and take this money. I'm taking the Rams in this matchup only because the slight home advantage. I think the refs are going to be kind of on their side. The Bills might be the better team. I just think that the Bills kind of play softer, it seems, in the beginning of the season and then just get really hot towards the end and start blowing out everybody. For that reason, they just won a Super Bowl. Let's give them some credit. Let's give it to Matt Stafford. I'm taking the Rams at home, Week 1, Thursday night versus the Buffalo Bills. That's my final decision. All right. Moving on to the next game, the first game in the 1 o'clock window, we got Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens versus Joe Flacco and the New York Jets. Good old Joe Flacco. What would we do without Joe Flacco? This is an easy one for me, honestly. I'm pretty sure last time I saw Lamar play the Jets, he snapped. You know, I am a Zach Wilson fan. I can't lie. I think he is way better than people think that he is. But sadly, he's not playing in this game. It's Joe Flacco. I am a fan of the New York Jets, though, last couple years at least. I think their depth chart is getting much better. I mean, you got Zach Wilson when he comes back healthy, straight baller. Breece Hall, Michael Carter, Tevin Coleman, Ty Johnson, Elijah Moore. He's been killing boys. Corey Davis, Garrett Wilson, Denzel Mims. You even got Tyler Conklin and CJ Uzomah. I'm not trying to drag this out, but their defense is full of ballers too. Carl Lawson, Solomon Thomas, Quinnen Williams, Quan Alexander, CJ Mosley, Sauce Gardner this year, Jordan Whitehead, LaMarcus Joyner, DJ Reed. I mean, they're loaded on both sides of the ball. If they could just get, I guess, an offensive coordinator and get a couple stops, I feel like they're on the way to 8-9 wins, honestly. I really do. But Zach Wilson is not playing in this game, and my heart just isn't with Joe Flacco. He likes to air it out, but he's going to run into some problems because, sadly, you got Marcus Williams in there, Marlon Humphrey, Kyle Fuller, and Marcus Peters is coming back this year, Week 1. So, I mean, Patrick Queen, Calais Campbell. I could go all day with this. Justin Houston. I think this is almost going to be a blowout. I mean, I like the way that Harbaugh does the Ravens each and every year. I mean, he plays a nice slow game, and then all of a sudden Lamar Jackson just makes this amazing fourth quarter. J.K. Dobbins is back healthy. Rashad Bateman, Dever Duvernay, plus they got Demarcus Robinson. Thank God they finally got a receiver good enough to streak the outside. I'm going to have to give it to Lamar Jackson on this one. I'm looking at the lines. -7. I think it's went up since the line dropped. So I do believe that the Baltimore Ravens can take these Jets by more than a touchdown. I'm going to have to go with the -7 on the Baltimore Ravens for this game just because I think Joe Flacco throws like 1 or 2 picks throughout the game, probably to Marcus Peters, and it just sets the Jets' momentum offset. I mean, that's just the way I look at it. To me, this is like a 30-17, a 28-17 game, something like that. I'm also looking at the total, 45 points. Spread is 7. That's very interesting to me. Now, with this new and improved Jets offense, I mean, they got Elijah Moore. He's just amazing to me. He's going to be really good in the future. Corey Davis on a prove-it year, 1 year left in his deal. I think he's going to try to get some receptions this year to prove his worth. Garrett Wilson blasting onto the scene. Denzel Mims making a lot of plays in preseason. And I just think that they're going to put up more than people think. Now, is that going to be enough to win the game? No. But I do think that they're going to, score a touchdown or two, throw a field goal or two in there. But when it comes down to it, I think Lamar Jackson is just uncontainable off the edge. Literally a game changer in my eyes. It's going to come down to the fourth quarter, and I think that he's gonna take it away. So, I'm going to have to go with the over on this game. Like I said, I like to buy points, so 45. I'm buying this down to 43.5 points. I'm taking the over. So over 45 points. I'm taking the Baltimore Ravens -7, have to. And then, you already heard it, I said it like 3 times already. Baltimore Ravens, money line. Easy. Right, moving along. I keep thinking about the last game, and if Zach Wilson was playing in that game, I probably would have bet the Jets +7, bought it up to 8. Would have been a much closer game, I think. But sadly, he's not, so moving along. Get well soon, Zach. Next game, we got the Cleveland Browns traveling to the Carolina Panthers crib. This is going to be special. Why? Because everyone in the world knows the Carolina Panthers got Baker Mayfield, and he used to play for the Browns. I love these kind of games. I can't wait to see Russ play the Seahawks. Anyway, we'll get to that. This is going to be a good one. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game, honestly. I think the Browns are going to run the ball and keep it out of Baker's hands as much as possible. I do think both of the defenses are above average, I would say. I think that the Cleveland offense is just not as strong as the Carolinas. When I'm looking at their offense, I see Nick Chubb, pretty good. I see Kareem Hunt, Darnell Johnson, Amari Cooper. This is an interesting pickup. I just think he's on the downhill slope. I just don't think he's as good as he was with the Raiders. I kind of start to see him slope when he played with the Cowboys, and now he's just on the worst franchise in the league to me, so I don't think his offense is going to be able to connect, especially with Jacoby Brissett throwing him the ball this game. I just don't think it's going to work. They got Donovan Peoples-Jones, got Anthony Schwartz on the outside with some speed, David Njoku, David Bell, I guess, but I mean, I just don't think it's going to be good enough, because when you look at Carolina's defense, they got some playmakers, man. They got Brian Burns, Derek Brown, straight beast, Yetur Gross-Matos, he's a baller, Shaq Thompson. They got Dante Jackson, Xavier Woods, Jeremy Chin, J.C. Horn, and C.J. Henderson. This is why I think that the Browns will lose this game. I do think that Jacoby Brissett is a pretty good game manager. He can hand it off. He can do a couple slants. But when it comes to make those 40-yard posts and those streaks, I just don't think he's the one. We need Deshaun Watson in there. I'm looking at the Panthers' offense as well. I mean, you got C-Mac coming back. We're all excited about this. A comeback player of the year, possibly. Maybe Saquon. Maybe Jameis. Michael Thomas. I'm feeling the Saints this year anyway. DJ Moore finally has a quarterback to get him the ball besides Darnold. I think people are sleeping on DJ Moore this year. I think he's going to be really good. They got Robbie Anderson, Rashad Higgins, a huge pickup in my eyes, Laviska Shenault Jr., very good. This offense is going to pop. They got Terrence Marshall Jr. from LSU, too. This is good. They got Akeem Ekwonu on the line, Austin Corbett. I think they're going to run. I think C-Mac's going to have plenty of holes. But like I said, this is a low-scoring game. I do feel like the Browns' defense with Denzel Ward, knows Baker Mayfield's tendencies. They got Jadeveon Clowney, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, Grant Delpit, Greg Newsome, John Johnson, Richard LeCounte III. I mean, like I said, both defenses are pretty good. This comes down to quarterback play to me. And I do feel like, of course, like everyone else in the world, Baker Mayfield is better than Jacoby Brissett. So this is a low-scoring game to me. What did I have? This is like a 23-19 game, 24-17, something like that, I think. I'm looking at numbers here. Let's look at numbers, my favorite. Very analytical guy. The total we got is 41.5 points. I know I like to say I like to buy a 1.5, but I don't like to buy a 1.5 when it's already at a half, because then it lands on a flat even number, and then say the total's that, then you lose the bet. So I'm only going to buy a point in this game. It's going to be 42.5, and I am taking the under. Under 42.5 for this game, for sure. And like I mentioned, I do think the Carolina Panthers take this game outright by a touchdown or 4 points, something like that. So I'm taking the Carolina Panthers at home with Baker Mayfield to secure this victory. The spread's only 2 points. They think it's going to be close. I don't really think it's going to be as close as 2 points. Maybe, you never know. Maybe Jacoby Brissett does better than we think and the Panthers win it by a field goal. I don't know. But I'm going to have to go with the Panthers -2. So Panthers across the board, under 42.5 points. That's my final answer. All right. Moving along, moving along. Next matchup in the 1 o'clock slate, we got the Indianapolis Colts traveling to the Houston Texans house. This is a divisional matchup. I do love these kind of games. I do think it's going to be closer than people think. I think the offenses are going to score points. Both throwing offenses, if you ask me. I'm just not a Matt Ryan fan. I don't know why. I just don't think he's as good as he used to be. Ever since he lost that Super Bowl to the Patriots, he just hasn't been himself. I really wish they would let Sam Ehlinger start this game. He's proven himself in preseason. He's got a bright future in this league. Straight baller. But sadly, that's not who's playing. I think I do like Davis Mills as the better quarterback. I just don't think he's necessarily on the better team. I'm looking at the Houston Texans depth chart right now. I do see Dameon Pierce, which is he's a pretty good player, honestly. I was watching him in preseason, runs really hard. Got Brandon Cooks. He's makes a lot of receptions every year, never seems to lose a stride. Nico Collins, who knows how to go up and grab the ball. Chris Conley, Philip Dorsett. So I do believe Davis Mills is going to keep them in this game. He's a very football-savvy dude, tall dude, knows how to see over the linemen. But when it comes down to it, excuse me, they just don't have Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor's a game breaker. He's still getting blocks from Quentin Nelson. You know, I'm looking at this defense on the Colts. They got DeForest Buckner, Yannick Ngakoue, Kenny Moore II still, and they picked up Stephon Gilmore, Isaiah Rodgers. I think it's going to be a close game, but towards the end, I do think the Colts start to pull away in this game. Let's look at some numbers here. The spread is 8. It's very interesting to me. If this moved to 8.5, I would probably pick the Texans and buy it up to 10 points. But since it's at 8, I'm probably going to choose the Colts in this spread. I'm going to buy it down a point, 7, 6.5, whatever you guys want to do. I think that they start running away with this game. This seems like a 33-24 type game, 30-26 type game, something like that. So in this game, I am going to take the Indianapolis Colts at -7. That's my pick for this game. Not because of Matt Ryan. I just probably think that Jonathan Taylor has like 2 50-yard runs or something like that for touchdowns. As long as Matt Ryan doesn't throw to Stingley, I think they'll be fine. Stingley's really good. I watched him at LSU guard Jamar Chase. Very talented player. Sorry, I keep coughing. I need some juice. I'm looking over here at the total at 44 points. I don't know why. I think that's a trick. I think that more points than that are going to be scored in this game. I'm still going to buy it down. So 42.5 points for me. I'm taking the over in this game for sure. Since most quarterbacks know how to throw the ball pretty well. And then I'm taking the Indianapolis Colts outright in this game. For sure. Finally got some juice, thank God. Moving along. Next game, the 1 o'clock slate, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to the Washington Commanders' house. It's going to be a good game. I'm excited to see Washington's new jerseys. They look pretty nice if you ask me. But sadly, I think Carson Wentz is just hopping from team to team. He doesn't really know what he's doing with his career, I think. I think he just knows how to throw the ball. And I'm all aboard the Jacksonville Jaguars hype train this year. I'm looking at depth charts. You know, Jacksonville's got some studs this year. Trevor Lawrence, I feel like he's going for 4K. Travis Etienne Jr. going to splash on the scene. That was his buddy in college. We all know this. Still got James Robinson. God bless Brian Anderson on the Washington Commanders. I hope he gets better soon. Back to the Jaguars, though. We got Christian Kirk, Marvin Jones Jr., Zay Jones, who looked like a wide receiver 2 last year with the Raiders. They still got Jamal Agnew returning kicks and Evan Ingram healthy. You know, I just think that with Doug Peterson, the Jaguars are going to throw this ball. I think that their offense is pretty much loaded. The strength of the Washington team, when I look at it, is actually in the defensive line with Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen, and Montez Sweat. But sadly, Chase Young is not playing in this game. He's hurt. I think that's going to give Trevor Lawrence enough time to throw the ball to Marvin Jones. And I just don't see much opposition for the Jaguars' offense. Washington's offense is okay. Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, Curtis Samuel. I'm not sure if I'm sold on Carson Wentz, but like I said, it's going to be a close game. I know Washington's home. If Chase Young was playing, I probably would give it to Washington, but here comes the but. I think I'm rocking with Jacksonville in this game. Carson Wentz just hasn't had the best luck against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think their offense is loaded with Travis Etienne Jr. coming back healthy. I don't know if the Commanders are going to be able to keep up, honestly. Like I said, Doug Peterson's going to throw this ball. He's a Super Bowl winning coach. He knows what he's doing. Much better than Urban Meyer. I feel like the offense last year just looked scatterbrained. They didn't really understand what they were doing. So for the money line pick in this game, I'm going Jacksonville Jaguars for the upset, for the money. And of course that means I'm looking at the spread. I mean, it's 3 points. They think it's going to be a close game. I'm going to buy a point. I'm going to give Jacksonville 4 points. You never know. Carson Wentz might make a couple throws to Jahan Dotson and win this game by a field goal or something. But my heart is on the hype train, and I'm not jumping off. I'm going with +4 Jacksonville, and Jacksonville outright for the money. Now I'm looking at the total. This is 44 points. Let's look at the Jaguars' defense here. Nobody really remarkable except Trayvon Walker. Andre Cisco is pretty good. Other than that, man, we're not really seeing anybody that's going to make a difference. Like I said, Washington could win this game. This is a toss-up to me. I'm just going with Trevor Lawrence in his second year. I think he's going to make vast improvements. The total is 44. I think 44s are always over, especially during the 1 o'clock games for ratings, because they want points to be scored so people watch this game. So I'm going over 42.5 for sure. Jacksonville outright for the money, and +4 on the spread. Jacksonville. Easy. All right. Next game in the 1 o'clock slate, we got an absolutely killer matchup. We got Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots traveling down south to the Miami Dolphins house. It's going to be an absolutely great matchup. I can't wait to see this one. Divisional matchup doesn't get any better than this. Miami Dolphins got some pretty good luck against the Patriots lately. I can't lie. Usually first-year head coaches don't do that well against Bill Belichick. I'm just going to throw that out there. But the Patriots offense, I don't know if you guys have been watching preseason football, it just doesn't look as connected as it usually is. I'm a big Mac Jones fan too. I think he's an amazing quarterback, met him in person, super chill dude. But I just don't know if they can hang with the firepower that Miami Dolphins is bringing and the smarts that Mike McDaniel is bringing over from San Francisco. I think their playbook is going to be a little detailed, and I don't know if Bill Belichick has had any film to watch on this offense. I'm looking at the Patriots depth chart, honestly. They got Damian Harris, is a baller, I think, Ramondre Stevenson, Devontae Parker, Nelson Aguilar, who I think is really good, Jacoby Myers, and Kendrick Bourne, Hunter Henry, and Jonnu Smith. So I think this is like a quick slant, hook curl type offense, maybe hit Nelson Aguilar on a post type every now and then play action. But for the most part, this is going to be a run-the-clock type offense. They're going to try to keep the ball out of Tyreek Hill's hands. I can promise you this. Speaking of Tyreek, let's go ahead and look at the Miami Dolphins offensive depth chart. We got Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert, and Myles Gaskin, 3 amazing running backs that can relieve some pressure from Tua. I do believe they're going to hand it off a lot, especially with their coach coming from San Francisco. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. They got Cedric Wilson Jr. and a sleeper that most people forget about is Lynn Bowden Jr. He is very good. Don't sleep on him. Mike Gesicki and Alec Ingold, the great fullback. What I'm really looking at to stop this Patriot offense is this Miami defense. This is new and improved. Christian Wilkins, Raekwon Davis, Emmanuel Ogbah, Melvin Ingram, Landon Roberts, Jerome Baker, Jalen Phillips, Xavier Howard, Brandon Jones, Javon Holland, Byron Jones. I don't know if he's playing. Eric Rowe, Trey Flowers. All names. You know what I'm talking about? I think this team is going to be vastly improved from what it was. Man, this is a hard game. It goes both ways for me. I'm looking at numbers. I just think, man, that Tyreek Hill is going to get this ball and take off for one. Jalen Waddle's going to hit a little zigzag real quick and get one. I don't know if Nelson Aguilar, Hunter Henry, Kendrick Bourne is going to be able to keep up with this. I do think they're going to be able to shut down Damian Harris, which is, I think, is going to force Mac Jones to throw to these cornerbacks of Miami, and I just don't know if that's a good recipe for success. I'm looking at numbers, guys. I'm going to get into the numbers. We got a 3-point spread and a 46-point total. Yeah, I know what I'm doing here. So I'm going to go to the total first. With all of Miami's running backs and Bill Belichick wanting to keep the ball out of Tyreek Hill's hands, this is going to be an under in my eyes. 46, so I'm buying this up to 47.5 points. You know how I do. I'm going with the under in this game. This is like a 21-16 matchup, 24-17 type deal. Looking at the spread, 3 points. This is a hard one for me, honestly. This is a hard one. You never know. Bill Belichick could have not shown you anything in preseason and have all these special blitz dialed up for Tua. Patriots defense is usually good. Matt Judon. Let's see here. Patriots. We got Lawrence Guy, Matthew Judon, Mac Wilson, Kyle Duggar, Devin McCourty getting kind of old, Jalen Mills coming over. It's fairly evenly matched. I just think that Miami's offense, they want to give the people what they want to see. And I do feel like the refs might be a little home field advantage in this game, giving Miami a call or two. Let's go back over to the numbers. 3 points. I'm going to go with New England, though. I'm just going to come out and say it. I'm going with New England on the spread at +3. I'm buying it up to 4 points. And I'm going to take the Miami outright on the money line. Very close game, 21-17, 20-16, something like that. So final decision is going to be New England on the spread +4. I'm taking Miami outright on the money line, and then it's going to be under 47.5 points. Watch. All right. Dum, dum, dum. Next game in the Week 1 slate, we got the New Orleans Saints traveling to the Atlanta Falcons house. It's going to be a great one. Divisional matchup. Always love these, like I said. First off, let me say, Jameis Winston, Michael Thomas, he's back. I'm excited. I hope you are too. Those are my nominees for Comeback Player of the Year. I feel like it's definitely going to be one of those two people. But before I get too ahead of myself, let's look at this Atlanta Falcons depth chart. You always want to look at these rosters when it comes divisional time. Marcus Mariota, I saw some things in preseason that I do like. Very mobile on his feet. I do think he's going to be replaced by Desmond Ridder come week 7 or 8, but until then, they might have some success. They still got Cordero Patterson at running back, super versatile player. They just got a boy named Drake London from USC, absolute baller. Let's look here. They got Bryan Edwards from the Raiders, can go up and grab it in the red zone. I promise you this. Let's see here. Kyle Pitts, probably going to be the number 1 receiver in this offense. They also got Anthony Firkser for 2 tight end sets, so don't sleep on this offense. Jake Matthews, Chris Lindstrom on the line. They can definitely, I feel like they're going to be better. They can put up some points. Arthur Smith is their coach, very creative play caller. I do feel like he's going to put them in every position to win this game. Let's go down and look at this defense. Not many known names. A.J. Terrell, all-pro, though. Definitely going to be on Michael Thomas, giving Michael Thomas all they can handle for week 1. Let's see here. Casey Hayward coming over from the Raiders. I think he was our best cornerback last year. Very, very good. Grady Jarrett. So they do got some names that can hold some teams in, but this team is not the Saints. When I look at the Saints depth chart, it's just loaded, almost like the Bills. Like, they're just loaded. Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram, that duo is going to be back, causing hella problems. I can promise you this. Michael Thomas is back, the long-anticipated wait. Jarvis Landry finally coming home. I know he's going to be better than he was on the Browns on this team. And Chris Olave got the super speed. And what does Jameis do? He launches this ball. I can already guess how many long touchdowns he's going to catch from Jameis this year. And don't sleep. We got Adam Troutman at tight end. And they still have Taysom Hill to do a little mobile. So, the pieces are all there to put up 30 points a game, honestly. They really are. I'm looking at this defense, which is actually the strongest part of this team. It's going to be very hard to put points up on this team. Cameron Jordan, Marcus Davenport, Demario Davis, Marcus May, Tyrann Mathieu, Marshawn Lattimore, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. There's just so many veteran players that have so much experience. It might be too overwhelming for Marcus Mariota to make passes against them. The only thing that I feel like is saving these Falcons is Arthur Smith, their coach, honestly. Very, very talented play caller. I'm looking at numbers here, guys. The spread is 5.5 points. That's very interesting to me. Why? Because my little key is I like to buy 1.5. I don't know why. I'm addicted to it. I'm looking at the money line. I'm looking at the total. We got 42.5 points, which is that's a little sketchy, if you ask me. For both of these offenses, they're both throwing offenses. I do feel like that's a little low, honestly, unless the Saints defense comes out and is that good, which it could be. I could be a fool, but let's start with the spread. 5.5 points to Atlanta, divisional game at home, which is the key factor for me here. I'm buying this up to 7 points, and I'm taking the Atlanta Falcons spread in this game. That might be surprising to some people, but as far as a home and divisional matchup, giving them 7 points, I do think that is an advantage for a whole touchdown. So, I think this is like a 26-21, 24-20 type game. I think it's honestly saved by like a Chris Olave bomb. I think Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram dominate this game. Landry is over the middle a lot, but I think that the Saints are saved by some big play in this game. I'm giving it to Atlanta plus 7 points in this game, but I'm going to give the game my lock of the week. I promise you this is New Orleans Saints will win this game. Bet your bank account on it. Okay? If they lose, don't come in my comments. Don't come after me, please. It's not financial advice. And then the total at 42.5. Nah, they're trying to trick you. I do believe this is over 42.5. I'm going to buy a point. Of course, make it 41.5 points. So this is my final decision. Atlanta plus 7 for the spread. I'm taking the New Orleans Saints as the money line straight up, and that's my lock of the week. I can pinky promise it. And the spread, I already said the spread. No, let's go total. It's 41.5 points. Yeah, I wanted to change my mind on the spread, but no, I'm not going to talk myself out of it. 41.5 over New Orleans Saints straight up, Atlanta Falcons plus 7. Guys, let's keep it rolling. We're on fire. Next game in the 1 o'clock slate, we got the powerhouse Philadelphia Eagles traveling to the Detroit Lions house. I'm going to keep it real, guys. I think this is going to be a pretty boring game. I can't lie. I don't know if the Detroit Lions got the manpower to stand up to these Eagles right now, these high-flying Eagles. As far as pieces go, I'm looking at the pieces, guys. We got Jalen Hurts, big fanboy, mobile and with his arm. I think he's going to be top 5 in fantasy this year. All the pieces to succeed. They brought over himself from Tennessee, A.J. the King Brown. They got Jalen Reagor still, Devonta Smith. They brought over Zach Pascal from the Colts, one of their better receivers. They even got Quez Watkins with the speed down the sideline. Let's see here. And if all those fails, they got Dallas Goedert for 7 every time. They're still getting blocks from Miles Sanders, from Jason Kelce, Lane Johnson, Landon Dickerson. It's just a lot of power, guys. I'm over here looking at the defense as well. Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, Josh Sweat. Not to mention, they got Jordan Davis, straight monster at defensive tackle. We don't know what kind of damage he's going to cause this year. As you can tell, I'm getting hype. Nakobe Dean. I mean, these guys are all studs. Hassan Reddick, Darius Slay, James Bradbury. I mean, I just don't know if Jared Goff can handle all this. I'm getting worried for him talking about it, honestly. I see DeAndre Swift, he's coming back. He's probably going to have a great season. But other than that, I don't see much positives on this offense. They got Amon-Ra St. Brown. I mean, he's a stud. But, I mean, he's going to be guarded by Bradbury. You know, I mean, we got a DJ Chark, Josh Reynolds, TJ Hawkinson. Okay, you know. But I just don't think that's going to be enough to overpower that Philadelphia defense. Excuse me. I'm looking at, they got Jeff Okudah. They got Aiden Hutchinson. So, I mean, Jeff Okudah is going to be on A.J. Brown. He's coming off injury. I think A.J. Brown probably wins that battle week 1. Not many cornerbacks can stand up to him, honestly. And, Aiden Hutchinson might get his sack. He might get his media fame moment. But he's probably going to get dominated. Let's be honest in this game, guys. This is just going to be such a hard game to overcome for these Detroit Lions. I'm looking at numbers. Let's jump into the numbers. We got the spread of 4 points favored in Philadelphia. I'm taking that all day. I don't know why they think it's so close. Probably because people are on like the Hard Knocks hype train. Dan Campbell's cheering him on the sideline. I don't know. But they're not going to get me. No. I'm looking at this 4 points. They're going to beat these Detroit Lions by way more than 4 points. This is like a 31 to 17 game, 33 to 14 type game. I mean, I think they start steamrolling them in the second half. I just think that Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean, all those new boys come in with the energy that Philadelphia needs, and they put these boys down. So yeah, I'm taking Philadelphia. I'm just gonna be, I'm gonna be precautious. I'm gonna buy it down to 3 just in case we see some miracle happen. A lot of games last year, we saw the Detroit Lions cover this spread. So we're going Philadelphia on the money line. That's an easy one. And I'm looking at this total, which is the hardest part of this game for me. They got it at 48.5 points. I don't know. Let me think about this. I think the Eagles' defense is just as good. I don't know about those scores I just said. Scratch those scores. This is probably going to be an under in my eyes. Yeah, this is going to be an under. Maybe it's like 31 to 14. Something like that, yeah. I'm going to buy a point for this. This is going to be 49.5, and I'm taking the under. I don't feel like the Detroit Lions can do much. They lose steam throughout this game and just flatten out in the fourth quarter. And then Philadelphia just starts running the ball and just takes this dub, if you know what I mean. So yeah, we're going to do Philadelphia Eagles -3, that's for sure. I'm taking them on money line, absolutely. And then it's going to be under 49.5 points. Cha-ching. All right. Dum-dum-dum. We got another great divisional matchup coming up next. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers going to Cincinnati for a war. This game is going to be brutal. I can already see what kind of game this is going to be like. 2 pretty good defenses. I think this is a trick game, though. I do think that there's going to be points put up in this game. I am a huge fan of Joe Burrow. I don't know what he's smoking, but whatever was in that cigar, man, he's got it, bro. He's just an amazing quarterback. His receiving core, you can argue with me in the comments. I don't care. They probably got the best receiving core in the league. I know they did lose C.J. Uzomah, but other than that, I mean, let's take a look. They still got Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. They got Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon, Samaje Perine, and they even got Hayden Hurst now. They got Jonah Williams at left tackle, thank God. And they got La'el Collins for some more protection. So he's going to have even more time in the pocket this year to make some throws. This is going to be a very talented offense again. I'm looking at their defense. I mean, they brought over DJ Reader, Sam Hubbard. They got BJ Hill, Trey Hendrickson, Jermaine Pratt is a baller. Akeem Davis-Gaither is pretty good linebacker. Von Bell, Jesse Bates, which I wish he would have went somewhere else. And Eli Apple. You know, I can see why they went to the Super Bowl. I do believe it was kind of a lucky run. I do feel like the world wanted to see Jalen Ramsey versus Jamar Chase. They got what they wanted. I just think they're kind of overhyped, and this is a situation where I feel like the Super Bowl hangover is real. They're playing a very tough divisional opponent with one of the better defenses in the league. You know, you're going up against T.J. Watt, Devin Bush, Miles Jack, Alex Highsmith, Levi Wallace is pretty good cornerback, Terrell Edmonds, Minka Fitzpatrick, Cameron Sutton. I mean, you know, Mike Tomlin knows how to coach people, and every year his defense knows how to stop people. I mean, let's keep it real, guys. I mean, if anyone knows how to play the Bengals, it's going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? You may not think it, but I think the Pittsburgh Steelers have a great chance at actually taking this game. I'm a Najee Harris. I mean, probably who I'm aiming for in fantasy this year, honestly. He's going to get a lot of carries, especially if Mitch Trubisky is staying at quarterback. I don't think so. My prediction is week 4 to 6, you're going to see Pickett come in and really start to do some damage. I think he's a better quarterback than Mitch Trubisky, but, you know, they're going to make him sit for a couple weeks, just the NFL tradition. They got Deontay Johnson still, Chase Claypool, Calvin Austin, George Pickens, which is a beast in the run blocking. I know you guys seen the highlights. Pat Freiermuth, one of the up-and-coming tight ends in the league. This is a hard one for me, guys, honestly. I do know that it's in Cincinnati's house, but like I said, the Super Bowl hangover. I think they're still depressed from their loss. I think the Pittsburgh has a lot to prove. I think they're going to run the ball a lot with Najee Harris and keep the ball out of Jamar Chase's hands as much as possible. And I do think that Mike Tomlin is a better coach. I think I talked myself into it, guys. You hear me talking right now. The numbers. Let's look at the numbers. We got plus 6.5 as the Pittsburgh spread. That's very interesting to me, of course, minus 6.5 for the Bengals. I don't know. It's just a weird number. You know, if you bought the Bengals number down a 1.5, that would be minus 5. And I just feel like as a game 1 of the season, you're going to give Mike Tomlin, if I bought up a 1.5, you're going to give him 8 points against a divisional opponent? I'm taking that. I'm taking this. Steelers. Plus 8. Easy for me. I see these things. I'm looking at the total at 44.5. What did I tell you about 1 o'clock 44 point totals? It's probably going to be over. I feel it. I don't know why. I know both defenses are pretty good, but I'm thinking about all of the Bengals receivers, and I'm thinking about George Pickens, Chase Claypool. I just think that there's going to be more points in this game than you think, and I think the Steelers are going to give the Bengals everything they can handle week 1. So yeah, I'm going to do plus 8 Pittsburgh Steelers on this game. I'm buying a point down to 43.5 points, so I'm taking the over. I'm feeling confident with that. George Pickens, touchdown, prop, for all you prop bettors out there. I feel it. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to jump in there. I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers to upset these Cincinnati Bengals week 1 for the money line. We all need that money. Throw it in your parlays. I'm taking it. Pittsburgh plus 8 and the money line on Pittsburgh for the upset and over 43.5 points. Yeah. Alright guys, hey, if you've made it this far in the video, do me a favor, go ahead, click the like button, click the subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. I need all the support I can get, guys. Let's get this channel popping, if you know what I mean. This next game is not one of my favorites, but hey, you guys got the questions. I got the answers. So here are the answers. Let's get this effing money. We got the San Francisco 49ers traveling to Chicago to play Justin Fields and these Bears. I'm gonna first by start saying I love Justin Fields. Very talented quarterback, I think, with his legs. I do like him more than Trey Lance, actually, and Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm sad to see that he re-signed with the 49ers. Shake my head. I just think that San Francisco's coach is just way better than the Chicago Bears. I'm looking at the Chicago Bears depth chart, like I always do for every video. And, they got David Montgomery. He's a pretty good running back. But, he's playing against one of the best defensive lines in the league, guys. We got Javon Kinlaw, Arik Armstead, Nick Bosa, Dre Greenlaw, Fred Warner, Azeez Al-Shaair. I mean, these are all run stuffers. You think he's going to go anywhere? I don't think so. That leaves it up to Darnell Mooney. I know they got N'Keal Harry, but he's not playing this game. Keep that in mind. Aquimius St. Brown's pretty good, but nothing special. That leaves Darnell Mooney and Cole Kmet to make a play against these San Francisco, 49ers in their secondary. We got Jimmy Ward. He's not playing, though. Interesting. Let's see. We got George Odom. Jason Verrett. I don't know if he's playing. I think this is probably a lower scoring game. I feel like both defenses are pretty good. I'm looking at the Bears defense. Robert Quinn, Roquan Smith. Hope he plays. Jalen Johnson, Eddie Jackson. It's kind of even on the defensive side. It comes down to, of course, quarterback play for me. Trey Lance is probably going to hit Debo. He's got Elijah Mitchell, Brandon Ayuk, Juwan Jennings, Ray McLeod III still, and not to mention Kittle. I just don't think that the Bears are going to be strong enough. I'm looking at these numbers. I want to bet the 7 on Chicago Bears. The spread is 7. I don't know. I know they're home in this game. I just don't feel it, honestly. I feel like the 49ers hit Debo for a couple. Elijah Mitchell takes one to the crib from the 30-yard line. They got a very unique offensive scheme, and I just don't know if the Bears coach is going to be good enough for this. Like I said, 7 points is the spread. I'm buying it down to 5.5 for San Francisco. I don't know why I am, but I'm just going to do it. I'm taking the San Francisco 49ers in this game minus 5.5 points, so 6 points I'm going to need them to win by. Am I that confident? Probably like 7 out of 10, but you know what? I just don't think the Chicago Bears offense is going to be good enough. Nick Bosa is going to go crazy. Let's keep it real. I'm looking at this total. They got 41.5 points, which is... this is going to be a lower scoring affair. Like I said, the defenses are going to be on top of things. It's gonna come down to big plays, aka Deebo Samuel. I'm going to buy a point, so 42.5. This is like a 24-14, 27-13 type game. Both teams don't do much in the first half, but I feel like the 49ers get it together in the second half and just take over this game. Like I said, not one of my favorites, but these are the answers. I'm taking the under at 42.5. I'm taking San Francisco 49ers outright money line. Don't put it in your parlay. They're taxing you too hard. And I'm going to take the 49ers spread as well to cover that minus 5.5 points. And that's the answers. All right. What we got here? Yeah. We might just have the best divisional matchup of the week right here, guys. We got the Green Bay Packers going to Minnesota to play these Vikings. Wow. This is going to be a good one. Let me start by saying, of course, everyone knows Aaron Rodgers lost Devontae Adams. That's the first thing I think about when I see this game. I feel like that has made their offensive game plan totally different than it has been in the past. Now, I know they've done pretty well without him in the lineup before, but I just don't know if the Packers receivers are going to be able to take up that much responsibility. Week 1, at least. Week 1. I feel like there might be some frustration on Green Bay's side. I know Aaron Rodgers is going to be Aaron Rodgers. He's going to make this pass. He's going to make that pass. But they still got to catch it. And I just don't know if they're going to be able to do it. I know the Vikings have developed a pretty strong team. I mean, they didn't lose that many people. I'm looking at them. I mean, of course, they got Cousins, but they got Dalvin Cook healthy, Alexander Madison ready to go. I mean, Justin Jefferson, if he's not up and coming, then I don't know who is in this league. Of course, they still got the ageless wonder, Adam Thielen. He kills it every year. And they got KJ Osborne, which kind of broke out at the end of last year. I was impressed. CJ Ham at fullback, Herb Smith Jr. at tight end. They got playmakers, guys. I mean, they've had a whole offseason to gel and connect with each other. I'm looking at this defense. I see some good names. I mean, I'm seeing Harrison Phillips at nose tackle. That's a good pickup. They got Danielle Hunter still, Eric Kendricks at linebacker, Jordan Hicks. I mean, they brought over Zadarius Smith. They still got Patrick Peterson, Lord have mercy. Harrison Smith at safety. And then they got Cameron Dantzler at cornerback. Who else? Lewis Seen, the new safety that they got. I mean, their defense is looking better than it has in the last couple of years, and I think against this Packers offense that is still learning each other that they might give the Packers some trouble. This is divisional, guys. Think about it. If anyone knows the Packers well, it's going to be the Vikings. I'm looking at Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. Pretty nice. I think Aaron Jones, I mean, call me crazy, but he might be the number one receiver in this offense this year. He's going to catch a lot of passes out of the back. I think he's going to be more of the receiving back, and they're going to give A.J. Dillon all of the third down work and the goal line work, honestly. They got Alan Lazard. They got Christian Watson. They got Sammy Watkins. I mean, sure, Romeo Dubus, or Dubes, is that how you say it? And Randall Cobb. But Robert Tonyan, I just don't know if it's going to be enough. Like I said, they have to gel. And I don't know if they're going to be able to gel to what it's going to take, at least, excuse me for pausing, to beat these Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, guys, I'm looking at these numbers. This is a difficult one. Even the bookie doesn't know what's going on in this game. They got the spread at 2 points, favored in the Packers. Aaron Rodgers might do it. He might. I'm not a Aaron Rodgers hater, I mean, he's on those psychedelics, He can do whatever he wants. They have the Packers favored in this game, not by much, but I can tell you that they're favored. And then they have the total points at 48 points, divisional, week 1. Both passing offenses. I've heard through training camp and interviews that the Vikings are going to a more pass-heavy offense this year, which is exciting to me. As if they weren't already, but I mean, that's just me. Let's jump into it, guys. I'm going to do the total first. They're both passing offenses. Justin Jefferson is going to snap. I do feel like Aaron Jones is going to make a play or two. Aaron Rodgers is going to be A-Rod. I'm going to buy this 1.5 down to 46.5 points. I do think this is like a 28 to 25, 26-ish game. Something really close. I'm taking the over at 46.5 for sure. I don't see it being an under at all. Even though the defenses are pretty good, I just think the Minnesota Vikings offense is something to watch out for this year. If the Packers win, it's not by much in this game, aka a field goal. I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings at plus 3 points for the spread. And you know what? I'm going for the money on this one. Like I said, I like to talk myself into these things. I'm taking the Minnesota Vikings at home against their divisional rival to shut Aaron Rodgers up. Not that I'm an Aaron Rodgers hater, but I just think the Minnesota Vikings got something to prove this year, and no better time than week 1 than to put it to the Green Bay Packers. I'm taking the Minnesota Vikings plus 3 points. I'm taking them as the underdog money line pick, and I'm picking the over at 46.5 points. That's just what my heart telling me. Those are the answers. I promise you. All right, where are we at? There we are. The second game in the 4:30 slot, we got the Kansas City Chiefs heading over to the desert to play Kyler Murray and these Arizona Cardinals. This is going to be a good one. 2 high-scoring offenses, fast-paced, no-huddle offenses, definitely going to be throwing the ball. Let me start by saying I'm not really a Kansas City fan, as you can tell, but I do recognize talent with these eyes, and I do give credit where credit is due. I do think Pat Mahomes is a phenomenal quarterback, definitely better than Kyler Murray. It might give the Chiefs the edge in this game. It might not. What I'm thinking about is the Kansas City Chiefs lost Tyreek Hill, of course, which is going to do some damage to their offense. Let's take a look, actually. We got, we still got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, which I don't think is that good. I think he's too small, not strong enough. Call me crazy in the comments, I don't care. Juju Smith-Schuster, go ahead and make a TikTok. I think he's overhyped. Marquez Valdez-Scantling coming over from the Packers. I think he's going to be the number one wide receiver in this offense this league for all you fantasy players. We got Sky Moore, who's overhyped, I think. I need some hops right now. Where's the beer? And Mecole Hardman, who I think is probably going to take the Tyreek Hill role down the sideline, the high flyer. And then they still got the number one tight end in the league, Travis Kelce, of course. So we can't count him out ever. They got Orlando Brown Jr., Joe Thuney, Creed Humphrey, Andrew Wiley. I mean, pretty good offensive line. I can't lie. He's going to have plenty of time to launch these balls to these boys. Pause. And I'm looking at their defense. They got Chris Jones, Frank Clark, Nick Bolton, Willie Gay. Pretty good front, honestly. Trent McDuffie, Justin Reed, Juan Thornhill, and L'Jarius Sneed. I mean, their defense. Oh, and George Karlaftis. I mean, he's gonna be giving Kyler Murray a hassle all game. Their defense is coached pretty well. That's why they win the AFC West every single year. I'm kind of mad about that. It might be too much for these Cardinals, even though the Cardinals play really well in the beginning of the season, and the Chiefs lately have not been playing that well in the beginning. They got James Conner on a new deal. I think he's going to ball out for fantasy players, just so you know. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins would make a big difference in this game if he was playing, but he's not. I think that hurts. I really do think that hurts them in this game. Marquise Brown is just not going to do the same thing that DeAndre Hopkins can do. He's pretty good. Maybe he's better in this offense when he reunites with Kyler Murray. I don't know. We're going to find out. They still got Rondale Moore, Andy Isabella, AJ Green. Not really feeling him anymore, but you never know. Zach Ertz, too. I think he's going to be one of their leading receivers week 1 through 4. Watch out, guys. J.J. Watt, Zaven Collins, Isaiah Simmons, Marcus Golden, Byron Murphy Jr., Budda Baker, Marco Wilson. A lot of names we all know, right? This is going to be a good game. Everyone's going to be watching this game. Let's bring it over to the numbers. The spread is 3.5 points. Favored in KC, the away team, actually. Yeah, and then I'm looking at the total. We got 53.5 points, so they do think that some points are going to be scored in this game. I'm going to be the contrarian. I do have this theory that when two high-powered offenses go against each other, they cancel out, and it creates a lower-scoring game. I would have said that about the Rams and the Bills game too, but I just think since it's the special occasion first game of the season that the people want to see points, that's what they're going to get. In this game, though, since it's a 4:30 game, more people are going to be watching these games than the 1 o'clock games. I'm looking at this total at 53.5. It's going to be a lower scoring game, I think. This is like a 27-21 game. I do believe. I'm going to head do it. I'm going to take the under on this game at 54.5 points. Under for sure. That's my final answer on that, by the way. I'm looking at the spread, though. This is where it gets interesting to me. 3.5 points. And Arizona's the home team, but they're not favored. So I'm going to buy my 1.5. Call me Mr. 1.5. And I'm going to pick the Arizona Cardinals at +5 in this game. I do think they're going to be right on the Chiefs' ass. I think they give them a run for their money, but I think the determining factor is quarterback play as always, and I think Pat Mahomes just has the edge. So yeah, I'm picking Arizona Cardinals +5 in this game, but when it comes to Moneyline, I'm picking the Chiefs. So +5, Arizona Cardinals. That's my final answer. I'm taking the Chiefs outright money line. but then I'm taking the under at 54.5 points. Yeah, that's it. You feel me? All right. Moving on to my favorite game of the weekend, of course, and the most watched game in the 4:30 slot. We got the Las Vegas Raiders going to Los Angeles to play these Chargers. This is going to be a show. I can't wait to watch this game, honestly. As you can see, I'm a Raiders fan, but you're going to see I'm not that biased. There's a lot of hype around the Chargers this year, and like I said, I recognize talent. I give credit where it's due. I can see why there's hype around them. They have an absolutely loaded roster. Like the Bills, like the Saints, the Chargers, if not more than all of those teams. Look at this. Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, Jalen Guyton, Mike Williams, Josh Palmer, Gerald Everett. I mean, even their line, Rashawn Slater, Corey Linsley, Zion Johnson, Storm Norton. I mean, this Justin Herbert is going to have all day in this pocket to throw the ball. Now, he's got to go up against Chandler Jones and Max Crosby. That's going to be a problem. But I think that their coach is brave enough. He always goes for it on fourth down. Even their defense, guys, everyone plays with these guys in Madden this year only because their defense is suffocating. I mean, you got Jerry Tillery, you got Sebastian Joseph Drake, Joey Bosa, of course, Kenneth Murray, you got Drew Tranquill, Khalil Mack now, Lord have mercy on us, Michael Davis, Derwin James, Nasir Adderley, and then they went and got J.C. Jackson from the Patriots. Jeez, Asante Samuel Jr., Kyle Van Noy, I could go all day. I mean, their team is just absolutely loaded with playmakers. It is really impressive at what their front office has done. I mean, even though the Raiders beat them the last game of the season last year and essentially kicked them out of the playoffs, I think the Chargers are angry. I think they really want to get back at these Raiders. I'm looking at these numbers, guys. It's very close. They got only 3 points as the spread favored to Los Angeles. Now, I mean, is this a home game or an away game for the Raiders? Usually they say it's a home game. But like I said, I feel like there's bad blood, honestly, between these teams. Divisional matchup. Can't get any better than it. They got 52 points as the total in this game. So a couple points are going to be scored. Excuse me. Where's my juice at? And this is just going to be a battle of the trenches, guys. I mean, I'm looking at the Raiders offense. I mean, hey, we got Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs, which they didn't pick up his fifth-year option, which is kind of sad. They went and got the best running back out of Georgia. You can argue with me if you want, but Zamir White is a straight beast. They went and took Devontae Adams from Aaron Rodgers. You know, that's going to be a connection in fantasy football right there. Hunter Renfrow, don't sleep on him because everyone's going to be guarding Devontae Adams. They got Keelan Cole. They got Tyron Johnson from the Chargers. He's got speed, I'm telling you. And, of course, they got Darren Waller coming back healthy this year. I think they're going to have issues on the offensive line, though. Derek Carr is usually pretty good about getting the ball out, but against this Chargers defensive line, Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, I think Alex Leatherwood's going to run into problems, I'm not going to lie. And Derek Carr might get a little uncomfortable. I'm just keeping it real, guys. They got Max Crosby, of course, Chandler Jones, Denzel Perriman, Jayon Brown from the Titans. That was a huge pickup in my eyes. We stole Rocky Sin from the Colts. We got Trayvon Mooring, Nate Hobbs, which is a standout slot last year. Amik Robertson, who is that? Anthony Averett from the Baltimore Ravens. Don't sleep. The Raiders' defense has vastly improved this year. I really do believe that. I just don't know if they're going to be strong enough week one to put up as much points as the Chargers here. I'm looking at these totals. Yeah, 52 points. With both of those defenses that I just mentioned, regardless of the superstars on offense, I'm going to buy the 1.5, and I'm taking the under on this divisional matchup. So 53.5 points is what I'm betting the under on. That's my final answer. Under 53.5 points. I'm looking at the spread. This is where it gets interesting. They got 3 points. I think I'm going to take the Raiders on this one. I'm buying a point to make it 4 points. So they can lose by up to 4 points. I would not be surprised at all if Hunter Renfrow starts snapping, Devontae Adams starts snapping, Darren Waller starts snapping, and we beat him. I wouldn't be surprised. That's what my heart wants to say. But I'm going to use my brain right here. And I'm going to turn this backwards just for a little bit. And I'm going to take the Los Angeles Chargers to beat the Raiders week 1. I know you guys didn't think I would say it, but I do think it's gonna be a close game. But I do think that when it comes down to it, there's gonna be too much pressure in Derek Carr's face week 1 with this sketchy offensive line that we've got. I think Josh McDaniels is gonna do something, but just give him a couple weeks. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Raiders for the spread +4. I'm going to take the Chargers outright on the money line, and then I'm taking the under 53.5 points. It hurts to say, but I think the Chargers got this one, guys. All right, guys, next game. We got probably the least watched game in the 4:30 slot. We got Brian DeBall traveling south to face Mike Vrabel and the Tennessee Titans. I don't know about this game. I don't know if I'd rather watch this one or the Browns versus the Panthers. I don't know. Hard decision. But anyway, New York Giants, they got good old Daniel Jones. I do not know how he is a starting quarterback in the NFL still. That's just my opinion. I would feel much safer with Tyrod Taylor. At least we got Saquon Barkley coming back healthy. That's a plus in this game. I'm looking at their chart. They got Kenny Golladay. Pretty solid receiver. Lord have mercy. I hope he scores some more touchdowns than last year. Sterling Shepard still is a baller when he's healthy. Honestly, I think he's really good. And then they got a superstar in Kadarius Toney. I do feel like he was amazing at Florida. But I just feel like he doesn't have the quarterback to get him the ball. At least they got some upfront protection this year. They got Andrew Thomas. They brought in John Feliciano. They got Evan Neal. So, they're invested and giving him some time. Maybe even Darius Slayton will get the ball once or twice, hopefully. I'm looking at the defense. Kayvon Thibodeau. I hope he's okay after that block. It wasn't illegal for all you people who think it was. It wasn't illegal. Adoree Jackson, Xavier McKinney. They got a couple names on here. But I just don't think that team is strong enough to go against Mike Vrabel's offensive scheme. They're going to have Derrick Henry, the king, returning with full strength. Do you think that their linebackers are going to be able to stop that? Not in the fourth quarter. We got Robert Woods coming over from the Rams fully healthy. I'm glad he found a new home. We got Treylon Burks, who's a stud in college they got. Not to mention Ryan Tannehill. I feel like this is one of those games where he has to prove himself. Everyone knows Malik Willis is probably going to take over the job sometime during the season. But I don't think Ryan Tannehill is the type of dude to give up his job that easy. Like I said, a prove-it game. I feel like he's going to come out here and really try to be the best version of himself to prove to everyone that this is his team. They got Nick Westbrook-Akina still. Who is this? Austin Hooper as a tight end, blocking from Taylor Lewan still. They could definitely beat this New York team. Jeffrey Simmons on the defensive front, Danico Autry, Harold Landry. We got Zach Cunningham at linebacker, pretty good dude. Bud Dupree, Caleb Farley, Amani Hooker from the Colts came over, excellent. Kevin Byard, Christian Fulton. This defense is a strength. This is not a weakness. This is a strength. And I just think that, Saquon might get his touchdown. But as far as guarding these receivers, I don't think that Daniel Jones is going to be able to complete many passes, honestly. I do feel like there's going to be more points scored in this game than there should be. I think this is one of those games that the ref want the ratings to go up, so they give each team a bunch of pass interferences and holding calls. I just feel like the Titans are going to take this game, honestly. It's going to be close, though. I wouldn't be surprised if this Saquon effect has an effect on this game. I just think that I'm looking at the spread. That's why I say that 5.5 points. I think it's going to be closer than most people think. I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to buy the 1.5, Mr. 1.5. Yeah. And give it to the Giants. I'm going to do 7 points for the Giants. That's my answer. I'm going to give them 7 points. I'm looking at the total. This is a 43.5. It's interesting. That's almost 44. That's basically 44. You know how I feel about 44s. Yeah, and 6 points is the spread. I'm going to take the over in this game. I'm taking like 24-21. One of those games comes down to like a late comeback touchdown or a field goal to end this game. And then I'm taking Tennessee outright. Very close game, like I said. But I do feel like with what Ryan Tannehill have to prove, his job on the line, plus Derrick Henry coming back healthy, plus Robert Woods, I do think it's going to be a little overwhelming. So my final answers are New York Giants plus 7. I'm taking the Tennessee Titans at home straight up money line. And then I'm going to take the over at 42.5 points. I'm going to buy a point. So that's what I'm feeling on this game. Call me crazy. Hit me in the comments. Hit me in the comments. Drum roll. Brrr. We have made it to the Sunday night game. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going head-to-head against the Dallas Cowboys. This is going to be a good one. Some high-scoring offenses, a lot of firepower. I feel like definitely there's going to be some points scored in this game. This is the GOAT going up against Dak Prescott, though. I'm pretty sure Tom Brady beats the Cowboys every time he plays them. This game is going to get thousands and thousands of views. That's why they made both these teams play each other week 1. The Bucs just look unstoppable, though. They're probably going to go to the Super Bowl. Every year that Tom Brady doesn't go to the Super Bowl, he goes the next year, a.k.a. this year. So I sense a Super Bowl run, especially since I feel like he only's got like 2 or 3 more years left. He's definitely going to get there one more time. They got Leonard Fournette, Mike Evans, Julio Jones now? Are you serious? Chris Godwin, Tyler Johnson, Russell Gage, and Jalen Darden? Not to mention Kyle Rudolph and Cameron Brate now? This might be the best receiving core in the whole league. I thought the Bengals was, but now that I see this on paper, my emotions are swinging. This is just unstoppable, guys. They even added Akeem Hicks on defense. They still got Vita Vea. They got William Golston still, Devin White, Levante David, Shaquille Barrett, Sean Murphy-Bunting, Antoine Winfield Jr., Mike Edwards, Carlton Davis, Logan Ryan came over, Keanu Neal, Jamal Dean, Carl Nassib. This whole team is just from top to bottom loaded. I don't know how the Cowboys think they're going to win this game. They're going to throw it to CeeDee Lamb every play? They do got Michael Gallup and James Washington, but they're not playing this game. Neither one of them. That's a huge problem. You got Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott, sure. Dalton Schultz, but this isn't going to be enough. Let's keep it real. It's not going to be enough unless the game's totally rigged and the refs give it to them. There's no way that I think that the Cowboys can win this game. They still got DeMarcus Lawrence, kind of aging. Who else we got? Anthony Barr came over on like a 1-year deal, I think. Good for him. Leighton Vander Esch is pretty good. Minka Parsons, he's probably their best player on their whole team, I'm not going to lie. But Tom Brady, a linebacker doesn't slow down Tom Brady. Are you serious? Javon Curse, Malik Hooker came over. Trayvon Diggs. They got some heads, but I just don't think it's going to be enough to stop Tom Brady when he throws for over 5,000 yards again this year. Let's look at the numbers, guys. The bookie thinks it's going to be a close game. They got the spread at 1.5 favored in the away team, the Buccaneers. That makes me think. It does. I'm not going to lie. They got the total at 50 points, which is very interesting to me. Both of those defenses are really good. I'm not going to lie. Both of those defenses are really good. At first I thought about it was going to be a shutout, but since I do feel like the This is a later game. I do have this theory that the later games have more people watching them, so they don't need to score as many touchdowns for ratings to be as good. With that being said, I could be wrong on this. I'm going to go out on a limb, take this risk, but I'm going to bet the under on this game. I'm betting under 51.5 points. Of course, I'm buying the 1.5. Under 51.5. That's my final answer. I'm gonna have to give it to the Bucs at -1.5. I can't say no to that. I mean, I just don't see how they don't win by more than that, honestly. Whether it's a field goal, 4 points, a whole 7, or a 10, I don't know. But the Buccaneers are not gonna lose this game, I promise you, especially with all the injuries to Dallas. So I'm taking the Bucs at -1.5. And I'm going to take them outright money line as well. So on the spread, I'm betting Bucs -1.5. I'm taking them outright on the money line, but I'm betting the under 51.5 on this game. I guess I just got a feeling, you know? I get these feelings. All right. We have made it. We have made it to the Monday Night Football game between the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks. This is going to be exciting. I love these kind of matchups where old players face old teams. Always a lot of drama. Always a lot of upsets. Always a lot of plot twists, whatever you guys want to call it. I can't wait to see the Denver Broncos' new offense, honestly. I think they're going to be much better with Russell Wilson. Now, I'm a Raiders fan, so he's going to lose against us. But I do feel like they're going to be much, much improved this year. With that being said, don't get it twisted. I do think this is a trap game. People think that the Broncos might run away with this one. I'm going to have to disagree. I do think that the Seahawks are going to stay in this game. They know Russell Wilson's tendencies. Pete Carroll knows what defense to play against him since he's practiced against him many times. I wish it was Drew Lock playing, honestly. I think the Seahawks would stand a much better chance. Not to mention he used to play for the Broncos, so that would be like a perfect matchup. Hopefully Geno Smith goes down in the first quarter, and we get to see that, right? I'm looking at the Denver Broncos depth chart. I mean, they got it. They got it figured out on offense. Javonte Williams, Melvin Gordon, that's going to be a good 1-2 punch. That Cortland Sutton, which is going to snap off this year. Jerry Jeudy and KJ Hamler. All pretty good 3 receivers. The defense, they still got a couple people, especially in the back end with Ronald Darby, Justin Simmons, Kareem Jackson, and Pat Surtain. They got it made. Bradley Chubb, Randy Gregory. So, I mean, this is not the best defense in the league, but it's enough to definitely hold Seattle in check. It's not like Seattle took a major dive. I mean, they still have Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, the freak of nature. And they did draft a very good running back in Kenneth Walker III. So you got to watch out for those players. But as long as the Pat Surtain can keep DK Metcalf in check, I don't feel like the Broncos should have much problems beating this team. I'm looking at the defense. I mean, Quandre Diggs, Jamal Adams, pretty good. Other than that, we got Shelby Harris, Al Woods at nose tackle. Nothing I'm really seeing that could slow down Russell, especially with how mobile he is. I'm going to be kind of the contrarian in this game, though. I feel like everyone in the world is going to be choosing Denver, straight up. Denver on the spread. Those aren't bad picks, sure. I mean, I could definitely see it happening, but once you understand the rig, then you can understand the money. How the bookies make money and how the NFL makes money, it'll all come full circle over a couple of years. You have to lose money, guys. You have to understand. With that being said, I'm just going to jump right into it. The spread is 6.5, favoring the away team, the Broncos. So they think the Broncos are going to win by a touchdown or more. I could see it, sure. I could see it. I could pull it out of my stocking and see it on Christmas. I could see it. But I'm going to buy the 1.5, and I'm going to put it on the Seattle Seahawks to cover this spread. I do feel like, I don't know, I'm feeling like a 27-21 23-27. I know I say those numbers. I feel those numbers. Like, it's like a 18-21 game, something like that. I do feel like Seattle stays in touch and doesn't let this game run away. Otherwise, people would just turn off the channel, and that's not what they want. The total, they're giving us 42 points. So they feel like it's going to be a lower scoring game, which I do see that. Usually Denver Broncos run the ball more, and mostly all home games in Seattle are very low scoring games for some reason. But once again, I think it's a trap game. I do feel like there's going to be more points than that scored. I'm going to go ahead and buy the point to 40.5 points, so that's going to make it pretty easy, I feel like. So yeah, I'm gonna click the over. I'm going to bet the over at 40.5 points for sure. I'm taking Seattle Seahawks at +8. And then I'm going to take the Denver Broncos straight up as a comeback victory. Broncos country. Let's ride. I'm with you guys. AFC West. So I just want to say, guys, if you've made it this far in the video, I truly appreciate you. You are a real one. You guys are who I do it for. I'm sure you heard me talking about all the subscribe and likes. Do whatever you want. Leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear what you agree with, what you disagree with, any questions you might have for next week. And speaking of next week, I'm going to try to put out these videos weekly around Tuesday or Wednesday to cover all the games. I do work a lot, but I'm looking forward to hearing from each and every one of you. So let's go make some money, and let's go have a good week 1 of the NFL, baby.